The Russian Federation is experiencing the most powerful wave of attacks on its power system since the beginning of the war. Against this backdrop, the Pentagon has completed all technical and logistical checks for the transfer of Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. Only the signature of the President of the United States of America remains. These are long-range missiles, about 1,600 kilometers. That is enough to strike any key target deep inside Russia. In Kiev, preparations for the deliveries are already underway. The military is practicing strike schemes, navigation, trajectory calculations, and impact assessments. All this is happening amid powerful attacks that have literally left central regions of the Federation without power. The first examples are strikes with modernized Neptune missiles. The Ural thermal power plant and a substation rated at 750 kilovolts in the Vladimir region came under fire. The Ural plant alone provided nearly 40% of the region's energy and two-thirds of its heat. After the hits, several districts were left without electricity and heating. Video footage from the scene shows a destroyed cooling tower and a burning distribution unit. Several precise strikes hit the Vladimir substation, disabling equipment that supplied defense-related factories. This episode became the first successful use of Neptunes against targets deep behind the front line in history. At the same time, it served as a full-scale rehearsal before the possible debut of Tomahawks. However, the strikes continued. A total blackout engulfed the Russian-controlled Luhansk region after the shutdown of the thermal power station in Shastia. Near Moscow, in Tuapse, amid drone activity, entire districts were left without power. Surveillance cameras recorded the suburbs of the capital sinking into darkness. Trains stopped while emergency crews tried to restore energy supply. Russian operators called the incident a technical malfunction. But visible explosions and fires prove the opposite. These were coordinated attacks. For Kiev, this is confirmation that the energy war works. Heat, light, and logistics can be simultaneously disabled precisely and synchronously. In the following nights, Ukrainian forces continued the offensive, this time along power lines. Drones and missiles covered a wide arc of targets. In Tuapse, an oil storage facility caught fire. Flames engulfed tanks at the port. In Lipetsk, a 500 kilovolt power transmission node was hit, disrupting electricity to the region's metallurgical enterprises. In the north, in Bryansk and Kursk, a series of explosions destroyed substations in Novobansk and Zhelezhnogorsk. This caused cascading failures across Russia's western power grid. In Crimea, the Simferopol thermal power plant burns. In Melitopol and Bryansk, communication hubs and radar systems used by the Russian army were destroyed. According to estimates by the Ukrainian command, in just one wave of attacks, approximately 5,000 megavolt amperes of generation and transmission capacity were disabled. One by one, nodes of the system shut down, and at some point, the consequences reached even the Far East. The grid could not withstand the overload. Each new strike amplified the effect of the previous one. Russia's power system went out of control. Failures became chain reactions, like an old circuit without fuses. The collapse began. Outages followed one after another from the Moscow region to Primoria. Sections of railways stopped, metro lines halted, and factory conveyors froze. Everything dependent on electricity came under threat. Ukraine has turned strikes on the energy sector into a strategic instrument. These are not just raids. This is a new front line. It runs not through trenches, but through transformers. These are not just targets. They are the nervous system of the entire military and industrial structure of the enemy. The blackout near Moscow is not an accidental breakdown, but a demonstration, a preview of what a large-scale campaign could look like if Tomahawks enter the arsenal. And if the signature is placed, such strikes will be able to recur regularly, covering the entire depth of Russian territory. For Moscow, this is no longer a matter of protecting depots and bases. It is an attempt to save the entire power grid from strikes that come from the sky and tear the wires apart. The war has changed its form. From trenches, it has moved to distribution panels and substations. The further it goes, the clearer it becomes. The stakes are now measured not in kilometers, but in megawatts of light that remain on when night once again falls over the country. Such is the current balance of power.